Can the government turn you gay? Is Choboni still importing rapists into the country? Today, we have part two, where we'll be talking about Alex Jones and his fall from grace. Find out how to make millions on others' fear on this week's episode of Well, That's Horrible. Well, that's horrible. Welcome back to this week's episode of Well, That's Horrible. I am Reese, and with me is Travis.
Oh, hey.
We like to tell terrible stories, and you get to listen. But before we get back to our Alex Jones story, we need to get to know each other a little better. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Unprofessional opinion. All right, here is our question. Oreos wants to make the grossest cookie flavor ever. What flavor would you pick?
I thought about this long and hard. I deliberated,
Okay.
and I think a lutefisk filling with Vegemite flavored crackers or cookies.
Have you had Vegemite?
I've had Vegemite and I've had lutefisk, and they're both awful.
I've never had lutefisk, which I should be ashamed of myself because I grew up in Minnesota.
Minnesota, don't you know?
Minnesota is in, you gotta go to. But I have tried Vegemite. That was one of the most disappointing foods I've ever tried because I grew up and I had some friends from New Zealand, and they talked all the time about how much they loved Vegemite. And one of their family members had gone back to New Zealand and had brought some Vegemite back. They were super excited. And so I was really pumped, and I tried it, and it was disgusting. I never tried. They also had a really unique, like, celebratory sandwich that I was not used to. So it was white bread and mayo and sprinkles.
That's gross.
That was like a birthday treat.
That's disgusting.
It wasn't as bad as the Vegemite. It was interesting, though.
But it doesn't make any sense. What the fuck is wrong with you, New Zealand? Fuck out of here with that.
Now, I don't know if that was a New Zealand thing or if that was more of a this family thing. I'm not sure. But either way. So, okay. I'm going with saliva flavored filling and mayonnaise flavored cookie.
Does saliva have a flavor?
Depends on whose.
I mean, I wonder if, like, are we just accustomed to the flavor of our own spit? I think I'm having an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Like, we're just accustomed, like...
You are constantly tasting the inside of your mouth.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like thinking about that. I don't like to think that my inside of my mouth has a flavor.
You've just lived with that flavor your entire life.
Oh, no. I don't like that at all. That makes me uncomfortable.
Well, I was able to ruin your day. Hopefully I can ruin some of your days, too. Alrighty.
I feel like mine would taste worse, but yours makes me vastly more uncomfortable.
So you're trying to decide whose saliva you want the cream to taste like in the middle of the cookie.
I don't know. Like, would you... I don't want to talk about it. That's gross.
Now, what about consistency?
I hope there's a hair in your food later.
Why would you do that to me? I hate you so much. Okay. Real quick, the story behind that is I have a bit of a phobia of finding hair in my food because when I was probably about 11 or so, my mom always had really long hair. And I was eating dinner and I swallow, and there was a hair that had wrapped around a chunk of food. I'm still getting the heebie-jeebies thinking about this. It wrapped around a chunk of food. I swallowed the food, and it got stuck halfway down my throat because the hair wrapped around the base of my tongue. I keep hitting my microphone a lot today. I'm very gestury.
You're very Italian today.
I am. Babada-beebe. And so it goes down, stops halfway down my throat. I can't breathe, so I have to reach into my throat and grab the hair and pull it all the way out and pull the food out with it. I've never recovered. I should probably talk to a therapist about this, but I lose it if I find hair in my food. I cannot handle it.
It makes me nauseous just hearing the story, to be honest with you. Like,
You didn't experience
I understand where you're coming from. Like, it makes me a little bit grossed out.
Yeah.
The start of this episode, my stomach feels a little churny. I have nothing but Lotus in my stomach today too, so just rocking just straight. A little bit of heavy cream, some fucking Lotus.
I think I have some Doritos down there.
And yeah, some Doritos?
I started out early.
Did you melt some cheese on them?
No cheese on the Doritos, just plain Doritos.
Doritos with melted cheese on them is fucking so good.
I bet.
Like, you don't even need anything else, just regular nacho Doritos, a little bit of melted cheddar cheese, and, I mean, salsa if you got it, but fucking, you don't even need salsa. It's so fucking good.
It is. It's delicious. And on a completely unrelated note, though, I had something pop into my head that I wanted to mention before I forget. But I do want to have to mention, I'm giving a shout out to one of our listeners. I don't actually know her name, but our coworker, John, he I completely lost my train of thought.
Coworker John.
Yeah. So he said that his wife started listening to our podcast, and she listens. I'm pretty sure she's a serial killer because she listens to true crime podcasts before, as she's falling asleep at night. And she started listening to our podcast and had to stop and can only listen to it during the day because she was waking herself up from laughing. So she couldn't listen to the podcast anymore. I think that's probably one of the best reviews we've gotten so far is we don't put you to sleep.
That's what we're going for. It's a low bar, but by God, are we hitting it.
Alrighty, now that we've got that all figured out, let's find out more about Alex Jones. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
All aboard!
At this point in his career, Alex shifts from paranoid theories that really don't hurt anyone to theories that go sideways in a very real way.
Very cryptic.
Yeah.
Fucking Big Bang Theory reference. Throw back to that one.
And in a hurry. Now, you may or may not be familiar with Pizzagate. A lot of people are familiar with it, but we'll run through it real quick. So, in 2016, Alex reports that Hillary Clinton...
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah, it was.
Fuck.
Yep,
Pizzagate
that was
feels like it was
years
ago. just round the bend, you know? It just feels like it just happened.
Yep, no, that was 6 years ago. There's the one for the episode.
That was a gross one.
It was.
That one sounded juicy.
I knew that was going to happen because I swallowed an air bubble with my water. I'm like, oh, that's going to come back at me later.
You're not a burpy guy.
No.
Like, Dirk burps.
Oh, yeah.
You don't burp that much.
No.
But fucking every time.
Every single time. So that is actually a documented anomaly. When people get on microphone, their body creates more gas. Mostly because you're trying not to have gas.
Well, I just let it fly. I actually, the whole time we record, I have an anal dilator. So it just
let everything out?
Yeah.
It's constant airflow.
It's just constantly all the way through. I don't have to like pull my, if that's a life pro tip, if you pull your ass cheek to the side, it doesn't make sound.
Yeah.
If you just have a anal dilator in, it never makes a sound, and you never even know if you fart. The negative side effect is, sometimes you'll have some deer pellets rolling down your leg of your pants, but
Well, I mean, on the upside, I'm not sure that I really want to commit to a brand new one. So if you ever decide to upgrade, I'll buy your leftover.
all right. I'll leave it.
Do not clean it before I get it.
There you
I
go.
swear to God, if you clean that thing.
I've never cleaned it.
In 2016, and we're back to this, Alex reports that Hillary Clinton was sexually abusing children in satanic rituals in the basement of a Washington, D.C. pizza restaurant.
Nice.
He even claims that they were using food-related code words such as cheese pizza, meaning child pornography. Alex also states that he has zero fear of standing up to Clinton, even though she had personally murdered children. Again, he gives
claims.
no evidence at all that she's been murdering children. But
How are there not like defamation lawsuits all the time?
I don't know. I'm not sure if people just don't take him seriously or why he hasn't been hit with more defamation lawsuits. It doesn't make any sense.
I like the nettle, subtle way you corrected. You did not say that word right.
I was trying to be subtle about it, but then you called me out.
So I appreciate you.
A man named Edgar Welch, whose pastimes include playing Pictionary with his family, tries to persuade two friends to join him on a rescue mission. He tells his friends that their raid on the pedo ring might require them to, quote, sacrifice the lives of a few for the lives of many. 3 days later, with an AR-15, a .38 handgun, and a knife, I'm guessing that Alex would probably describe it as a military killing type knife.
Throw back.
Yeah. He walks into the pizza joint and heads to the back. He shoots the lock off a door only to find cooking supplies in a closet. He then busts through another door and surprises the hell out of an employee grabbing some pizza dough. That's when he discovers that Comet Pizza doesn't have a basement.
Jesus Christ. You can look blueprints up online.
You can.
Fucking do better, Alex Jones.
Well, no,
Next
they would have
time-
hit. Do you think that they really would have posted the blueprints, including their pedo dungeon in the basement?
That's a
That's
good
not
point.
typically something you file with the city planning committee.
Well, I mean, that's a past inspection,
Hey guys, so I'm going to be housing a whole bunch of kidnapped children down here for reasons, and we just need to make sure it's up to code.
These shackles are not rated nearly high enough. They'll come right off the wall. Oh, it's for children? No,
Yeah,
this
it's
would be
fine.
more
They're-
than enough.
They're very weak.
They passed child enslavement code.
Hillary and the other libtard pedos have apparently filled in the basement of the underground sex ring. But you know what it takes to get into a basement? Stairs. You know what goes downstairs? Slinkies. Get your InfoWars Slinky today before they run out. He also has people looking for boogeymen absolutely everywhere. He has an absolute field day with Lady Gaga's halftime show at the Super Bowl. The claim is that the halftime show is a cover for a satanic rite.
Just in the middle of the Super Bowl.
She wears meat suits and does all these rituals, and the organizers of the Super Bowl are deciding to defile America and break our will by having us bow down to this. They say she's going to stand on top of the stadium, ruling over everyone with drones everywhere, surveilling everyone in a big swarm. to just condition them to say, I am the goddess of Satan, ruling over them with the rise of the robots in a ritual of lesser magic. I don't think I remember that part of the halftime show.
No, I don't remember that bit.
I must have been
That
grabbing
doesn't sound familiar.
snacks. I was grabbing snacks. What Alex has really figured out is that fear flat out sells. Get people scared of something, provide the solution, make them feel part of the opposition to evil, and they'll follow you anywhere. And looping back, actually, I honestly I feel bad for the guy that went into Comet Pizza. Because if you think about it, I mean, this is why critical thinking is so important. Because if there was a situation where you truly found out that there was a group of children being held hostage in the basement of a building, absolutely, it would be your duty, your response, and no one was doing anything about it, you would feel the need to go and try to rescue them. Like that is a noble thing to do were that the truth.
Right.
But,
I mean, yeah. But he wasn't an operative. You think that some law enforcement would be like, oh, okay, we're just cool with this.
Yeah. No, but
Like, we all know they have a fucking island for that shit.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, I bet fucking Alex Jones was just trying to throw distraction away from Epstein. I mean, they seem like they're fucking buddies, you know.
in more ways than one.
They're both not going to kill themselves.
Yeah. So he drops the truth bomb that the government is controlling the weather, too. Going so far as to say that the government can create and steer groups of tornadoes. Then he's quoted as saying, "They tell you about the stuff you know about, GPS and all that. But when it comes to controlling the weather, they don't. But it's in all the trade publications, the university publications. It's all there, and that's my frustration." And through all of these broadcasts, he's always holding papers and shaking them at the microphone and the camera and holding them up. And you, of course, never see what's on these papers, but those are the papers that are evidence. And there was also a lot of people mentioned that what's super common is people will write in emails into the show, and he would read these absolute wackadoodle theories that people had emailed in, and then 2 or 3 weeks later on the show, he'll say, "I've received some evidence that," and then he presents that wackadoodle theory as fact that he'd received evidence, and he rattles those papers. So, our future business plan going forward, I think, is a lot of paper rattling, statistics, and also pitching products that fix problems.
You're just literally describing our job.
That's beside the point.
I mean, that's what we do for a living, bro.
I really want to disagree with you on that, but I'm having a hard time.
How dare you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Yeah, no, I can't fight you on that. One of my favorite theories of his, though, he states that the government is turning the frogs gay.
Turn the frogs gay.
He starts
love
out
that song.
by saying, "The reason there's so many gay people now is because it's a chemical warfare operation, and I have the government documents where they said they're going to encourage homosexuality with chemicals so that people don't have children."
That's great,
he's looping
actually.
back to the whole having children at 16 thing with this, too, by the way.
People should have less kids.
Yeah.
There's too many of us. We've already had a plague, and there's still fucking record-breaking amount of people. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, what, one plague wasn't enough? We need a fucking, what, 2 plagues at once?
Well, and with all of these conspiracy theorists, so often the theory is posited that they're trying to get rid of the majority of the population. And if so, they're doing a really shitty job at it.
Yeah, fuck.
Because they've had so long to make these plans happen, and the population is growing exponentially.
It's so much. And then they're taken away. But at the same time, they're fucking, no abortions, no contraception.
Yep.
Fucking,
Yep, exactly.
don't make no sense.
So, but a few years after he makes that statement, he takes a hard right. Alex says that he's not a fan of the government, quote, "putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. The majority of frogs in most areas of the United States are now gay." Again, notice the vague terminology.
Most.
A majority of the frogs in most states of the United States are now gay. So he leaves it all open-ended so that you can't pin anything on him. And that way, when someone finds the rare straight frog,
Like, how would you know?
And
Who's monitoring this?
that's what I was wondering next. My theory is that he's just going and finding frogs, and the majority of them are just very well dressed and raise the home value of houses around where
A lot
they
of
live.
articulate frogs.
A lot of articulate frogs. Did he just go chat with Kermit and ask him what turns him on? Well, certainly not Miss Piggy, that's for sure. That's a direct quote, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Kermit is now gay. But really, he's just seeing a bunch of frogs that are really excited about the right to get married now. It's very heartwarming. Listeners, fellow patriots, I want to talk to you about our newest product. Our patent-pending Gay Be Gone throat lozenges. Don't be the one that the government turns gay. Don't become another statistic. I'm going to try that word again. Don't become another statistic. You're the resistance.
The throat lozenge is 6 inches long and phallic shaped. I won't be gay.
It's not supposed to go in your mouth.
Right. Not at first. No. You get with your buddy and then you play switch 'em.
So the theory that lands him in the most trouble is claiming that the Sandy Hook shooting was staged. I'm sure everyone remembers, but in 2012, a gunman walked into the Sandy Hook Elementary School, killing 26 people, including 26 and 7-year-olds. Jones claims that the shooting was completely fake and staged in order to take our guns away. He even goes so far as to say that the families of the victims are in on it too. But he doesn't stop there. He also releases the addresses of these poor, grieving families, encouraging his listeners to go to their houses to confront those families about their so-called participation in this government operation.
It's fucked up.
It really is. With all this insanity, Alex's wife of 8 years, Kelly, decides it's time for a divorce. I mean,
That was 8 years too long.
it
But
really was. She says that her main concern is the safety of her children and what they're learning from Alex. She had overheard her son say that he hates women, and her daughter had told her that she didn't think women should be judges. During the court proceedings, Alex is asked if he even knows the names of his children's teachers, and he responds by saying that he can't remember because he'd eaten a massive bowl of chili the night before. That was his reasoning. And, it was glorious. From the court videos, the next day when they get in, the judge says something to the effect of, "Mr. Jones, did you successfully not eat chili last night so you can remember things today?"
it's fucking stupid.
Taking a page from Alex's book, Kelly creates a website largely intended to criticize Alex and post updates on the custody battle.
Nice.
I absolutely love this.
That's fucking boss move.
She calls it custodywars.com. I actually love Kelly. She seems fantastic. And really, I do believe her that her main incentive in this fight is to protect the children. Because as far as I can tell, they're going to be splitting assets. She's going to get a whole bunch of money, but she hasn't spent any time on the assets side of the discussion. She has spent millions fighting for custody rights. So that really leads me to believe that she truly does want the best for her children and is trying to create that environment for them.
Well, thank God for her. Hopefully she saves those kids.
I hope so.
Fuck.
It's also revealed during the court proceedings that Alex had been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder.
Fucking there it is.
Yep, and that's what I was saying. So Kelly had mentioned that in a court proceeding that he'd been diagnosed with that. And then later on, they actually had another court-appointed psychiatrist, one of those. Anyway, brain person. And they also diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorder. So for sure, that is what is driving this man. But do you know how to avoid eating a giant bowl of chili and forgetting names?
No.
Nick Nolte's X-ray blocking mini chili bowls.
Don't get caught with your figurative pants down. These bowls of chili are so small they can only hold one, maybe two beans tops. Guaranteed to not wipe your memory the day before your custody hearing.
During this very lengthy custody battle, Alex deservedly gets kicked while he's down. Choboni, the yogurt company, sues Alex. In an earlier broadcast, he had claimed that Choboni was importing rapists into the country.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh, everything's coming together.
Every time I
Just
look,
like you and me later.
every time I look at a container of Choboni, I think foreign rapists. That's just what comes to mind. He's also sued by 9 families of the victims of the Sandy Hook shooting. In 2018, Alex gets kicked off of all social media platforms for hate speech. Initially, Alex is able to spin it as the mainstream media trying to hide the truth, and his website spikes to 1.4 million visitors per day. However, over the course of the next 3 months, his daily visits to the site dropped by roughly half. In response to the bannings, Jones posts an absolutely insane video titled Operation 666, in which he wears a donkey mask and talks about the dastardly plans of the global elite. I'm actually going to play this video in its entirety because it's just too much gold to pass up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's play this clip.
But no one's going to see that broadcast Alex Jones did today because it's been deleted. And you see, you've learned very, very well that only the internet matters, not UHF, not VHF, nothing. Only our control
And again,
matters.
he's wearing a donkey mask during this.
Jesus, fuck.
So let me tell you about Operation 666.
Does he sound like he's in Deliverance?
You got a burning mouth. You like a big boy.
Freedom to destroy you.
This dude does so much fucking coke.
So much.
On the 6th of August, we banned InfoWars from 27 platforms. And now, on September 6th, we banned you from Twitter. And no looked.
Yeah, he got banned from Twitter for making threats against the owner of Twitter.
Right.
The last social media platform that had him on there, and he goes after that guy.
On October 6th, we will destroy your president and set fire to every major U.S. city and have our communist forces launch their attack while Silicon Valley sits in their bunkers in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in New Zealand. Operation 6.
That's where the bunkers are. You don't know that?
I didn't.
Oh, this is awkward.
Hell and fire, reigning free. Soon the West will fall. 1.8 billion Islamicists trained in Satanism are ready.
Trained in Satanism.
Islamists.
Trained in Satanism.
Those are llama.
The third world will collapse into Europe and America. And our domination will be complete. We will sit back in New Zealand and in Kauai, Hawaii, and watch you burn.
New Zealand and Hawaii apparently are the places where everyone's coming.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's great.
Now you know.
Jesus.
How are people watching this and going, yeah, this guy knows what's up.
Yeah, this is the guy I'm following. Fucking Christ. That's unsettling.
It's even worse when you see it.
Dude, I think it's fucking like, you ever watch those videos of Steve-O back when he used to do fucking like nitrous and shit?
Yep.
That's what fucking this reminds me of.
It is.
He fucking sounds like Steve-O on nitrous.
He
like,
is way off his rocker.
dude, like, dude's doing something fucked up. He's probably just huffing nitrous in a fucking horse head mask or donkey head mask.
Yeah.
And fucking going off. 'Cause
Yep.
that's exactly what he sounds like.
It really does. So I am going to let you tell your happy story in a little bit, but I have my own happy story. Currently, Alex does have visitation rights with his kids, but Kelly actually got to decide where they live. So she gets full control over where the kids live, where they reside. So that was a huge win for her. Collectively, the Sandy Hook families have almost $1 billion in lawsuits against this guy. And his custody battle also cost him several $1 million. So he is just spiraling in a hurry.
Just going down the toilet. It's a very pile of shit and belongs.
Now, as I was going through materials to put the script together, there were so many amazing quotes from this guy. So I'm just going to rattle off some of these here at the end of this episode.
My life is a love letter to humanity. What the globalists do is a hate letter, a curse. The more I'm persecuted, the stronger I get. The Emmanuels are Jewish mafia. It's not that Jews are bad. It's just that they are the head of the Jewish mafia in the United States. We're going to merge with machines and become gods. But first, we've got to reduce the population by 90%.
It's always with the
90-some percent.
90-some percent.
Everyone must turn to InfoWars as a standard to be saved. Tell folks, hey, it's the most censored thing in the world for a reason. Jones has it dialed in. Jones knows what's going on. Humanity will be obsolete by 2050. This is the consensus at Google and Facebook and Twitter.
I think I read that New York Times
Right,
article.
yeah, absolutely. Didn't they do a whole day for Google? Like, you know, they do like the Black History Month and they change like the Google. Didn't they have the change on Google for that too?
Yeah, for becoming post-human.
Yep, yeah, they had their post-human day. Yeah.
Supplements are popular. They're good. They're a fast-growing market. I use it to fund the operation. Other revolutionaries rob banks and kidnap people, okay? I don't do that.
So proud of himself for
Making
that
sure
one.
to claim that he has not robbed banks or kidnapped people. I feel like it's the person that comes and says, okay, I'm going to be honest this time. Makes you think, okay,
Right.
Are you sure? I
you
didn't
honest
have
be-
concerns
dishonest
about
before?
you. Yep, I had some concerns about you before, but
The frustrating thing about this guy is that not everything he says...
that's not a quote. That's the end of my script. Not a proud moment. The frustrating thing about this guy is that not everything he says is insane. I do legitimately believe that the government is and has been up to some really shady shit. So I'm sure some of the things he's spouted are actually true. But are you ready for this? When 99% of what you say is clearly ridiculous, you probably should find your info elsewhere. So, Travis, in the spirit of open-mindedness, what is one conspiracy theory that you actually believe and why?
One conspiracy theory I actually believe. I mean, I was pretty hard in conspiracies when I was like in my 20s,
Okay.
but they were like, you know, this was fucking over a decade ago.
Right,
so
right.
this is a long time ago, but I definitely had like some suspicions about the 9/11 attacks, you know,
Okay.
because never really made sense. You know, there's a third tower there that fell. Like, what the fuck happened there?
Do you still have
I'm like,
those?
I have like a hint. Like,
Okay.
for the most part, I'm like, what would be the point and like, what's the gain? And then I'm like,
Right.
oh, oil and money and capitalism's evil, and you know, because I'm fucking that way.
Tommy.
Right. So, Yeah, so I don't know. That one I kind of lean towards. And then, of course, there's some that are fucking verified. Like, there's actual infiltration of the Ku Klux Klan and Proud Boys into the armed forces and into the law enforcement.
Yep.
And it's a dedicated attack against, So I do believe in that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So,
And see, so mine is a little bit older. It's connected, but it's kind of twofold. I think that Jackie Kennedy killed Marilyn Monroe, and I believe that the FBI was at least involved with killing JFK.
oh yeah, Grassy Knoll, second shooter.
I think just between the amount of evidence that there is, and the day before Marilyn Monroe died, she called Jackie Kennedy at the White House and drunkenly told her, "I'm going to be in there next." And so I really think that Jackie was like, "Nope, no, you aren't." And that's who took out Marilyn Monroe.
Jesus.
So, okay, after all that, I think we need some good news. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good news, everyone!
Well, that's not so horrible.
So, this guy, there's this guy, Chen Si. He lives in China, and there's the Nanjing Yangtze River, and it's this bridge that is.
Can we just pause for a second? And I'm going to say how impressed I am with the pronunciation that you just did. I have nothing but respect for your orating skills.
I'm trying. I do not speak Chinese, obviously.
No,
so
that was very. I don't.
I'm
either,
trying,
but to my untrained ear, that sounded immaculate.
So I'm
anyway.
not gonna say that again. So Chen Si, he is this guy. So for 16 years now, he's been going on this bridge, and it's this huge bridge. It has a huge drop off. It's like 109 meters.
Okay.
Because it's in China, so they don't measure it in freedom units.
How many American Eagles is that?
I think American Eagle is about a meter. To be honest, I think that's about their wingspan. I'm not sure. Don't fucking quote me on that because I have no idea when that came out of my ass. But for 16 years, he's gone and rode his bike 12 miles, and he saved, over the course of these 16 years, 321 people from suicide. And this bridge is one of the hotspots in China for suicide.
Wow.
So over 16 years, he's saved 321 people from suicide. And he says he does it that in saving them, he's saving his past self, which is fucking super deep. And I was like, man, like this guy's fucking
Man, that
legit.
hits hard.
Right. So, and there's a whole volunteer movement now that now goes up there, and they try to help people and save them and talk them down from committing suicide.
That's huge.
But, yes. I mean, he's 48. So for 16 years since, he's 32, he's been saving people from committing suicide, which I thought,
And I'm spending my free time recording stupid jokes and
Right?
putting them online. I feel pointless right
you need to
now.
live next to a suicide hotspot, I guess. So
I don't, not that I know of anyway.
maybe you need to move, find out where a suicide hotspot is, move in next door. I mean, he lives in.
Dear Google, what are the best suicide hotspots?
Right. So that won't be a problem. Google it on your work computer.
Yeah, I'll make sure that shows up on my search results.
But yeah, so that's a little bit of good news.
Super cool.
So what a good guy. Makes everybody feel a little bit better that there is some actual good people left in the world.
The antithesis of Alex Jones.
Yeah, the opposite.
Yep.
Alex Jones.
Well, that wraps up this week's episode of Well, That's Horrible. Please like, rate, and subscribe. We sincerely appreciate all of our listeners. We really do. You guys are just awesome. Please remember to avoid a big bowl of chili if you have a custody hearing the next morning. And always remember to make the world a little less horrible.
Well, that's horrible.